Hey everyone, welcome back to Shannie Says, and if you're new, welcome to Shannie Says. I'm Shannie, and if you decide to stay, I hope you do. Please hit the subscribe button, and if you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell button so that you're notified whenever I post a video. Now, I already had some videos kind of planned for this month. However, with all that's happening in the world today with the coronavirus and persons being so skeptical about going out in public, and it's just so much going on, it's kind of hard to ignore it and pretend as though life is so normal and put up all kind of nice videos of everything else but this. And so I just thought I'd come on here and based off of information that I've seen posted online by organizations that are, professionals. This is not necessarily my tips that I came up with out of the clear blue. This is information that I basically collected from here and there and things that I've heard doctors talk about, all of the professionals, and I thought that I would just post something in case there are persons out there who still don't really know what's going on, and maybe this video can be of some form of help. So before I get into the tips and all of the things that you can do to pretty much minimize your risk of getting the virus, I'm going to start off with letting you know what the virus is. I'll put it up on the screen as well, so you can just pause the video and read it yourself, get an understanding. You can print screen it if you want, so you can have it there, but I got this from the WHO website, and you can just, like I say, pause it, print screen it for your safekeepings. There are no specific treatments for the coronaviruses. However, the symptoms can be treated. So that's all doctors have been doing. They've been treating it, treating the symptoms. They don't have anything specific for the viruses themselves. So the best thing to do would honestly be to just try to minimize your risk of even catching the virus or being exposed to it. You can't really stop it from coming in your area because you don't really know who has it until it's kind of too late, which is the scary part. But we can do a lot of things. We can be active in making sure that we sanitize ourselves and our surroundings so that we can minimize the risk of getting it. So the first thing I want to talk about is our hands. We want to make sure we wash our hands thoroughly and properly and frequently, because even if you wear a mask, I know a lot of persons are walking around with mask on, but the mask isn't necessarily going to stop you from getting it. It's actually you putting your hands on stuff. The virus or the germs could be on your hand, and then you start touching your face, and it can enter through your nose and your mouth and maybe your eyes, and that's how it gets into your body, by you touching stuff and putting your hands on your face. So you want to minimize touching your face, and I know it's really hard to do that because sometimes your face itches, or you may just be sitting down, and I have the habit of when I'm at work or anywhere, I would lean on my hand like this, and you're just so used to touching your face. So even though you're not gonna be able to 100% stop touching your face, the best thing that you can do is to make sure your hands are clean. If not 100% of the time, because that's kind of not possible, you're going to be touching things and working and doing stuff, but as much as possible you want to wash your hand and make sure it's sanitized. So when you're washing your hand, don't just go in there, put a little bit of soap on, do this, and then wash it off. That's not thoroughly washing your hand. You want to maybe count to 60, sing the happy birthday song, something that's kind of long. Use a lot of soap, and then you want to keep doing this and get in between your fingers. But your nails, especially us who like to wear, nails, you gotta make sure to get all up in there. Bring it as far down as your elbow, even if possible. If your hand is out, make sure you wash all of that as well. You're leaning on top of stuff, and you don't want to just wash here, but then you end up touching your arm, and it transfers back onto your hand. And ensure that you have hand sanitizers. You want to make sure you carry them around with you. Put one in every single bag you have. Put one in your desk at work. Just have them all over the place. The hand sanitizers are for whenever you're not in the area where water and soap is. You can't get to washing your hands, so you just want to at least put some hand sanitizer on it to eliminate the transfer of germs from objects to your face and to your body. Now, another way that can maximize or cause you to really be in contact with the virus is coughing and sneezing and talking in people's faces and stuff like that. So if you're coughing and sneezing, don't cough in your hand. That's nasty as heck, because you're transferring the germs onto your hand, and you're going to be touching all kind of different stuff and maybe touching people. Don't do that. So when you cough or you sneeze, you want to do it in your sleeve like this. You want to do this, okay? Don't put it in your hands. Don't cough and sneeze in your hand. Matter of fact, if you're coughing and sneezing and you're sick, stay at home and get better before you go back to school or go back to work. You don't want to infect anybody else. It could just be a common cold. It doesn't have to be the coronavirus. I'm not saying that you have it. However, you want to make sure that you don't spread any germs at all, especially with all that's going on. And actually go see a doctor to make sure you're good, and then let them prescribe something for you, and then stay at home and get better before you go back out into the public. Now, another thing that I've been hearing a lot from professionals, health professionals, and even seeing from research is to stay away from raw meat, or make sure that the meat is properly cooked. According to the health professionals, the viruses can thrive in heat. So you want to make sure that you cook the food, cook the raw meats. Like I said, it's coming from animals. So you want to make sure that when you eat these animals that you're cooking the meat thoroughly to make sure that you get all of the germs out of it. Do not eat raw meat. So those of you who love sushi, and my fellow Bahamians who love your conch salad, tropical conch, scotch conch, all this other conch stuff, raw meat, you may have to lay off of it for a bit, okay? You may have to. Now, another thing you want to do is to make sure that you clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Now, one thing that I did was I went to the store and I got myself some Clorox disinfecting wipes, Lysol disinfecting spray, and funny enough, there's no more hand sanitizers in the stores. People are buying them by the cases. Like, leave some for the rest of us, okay? Leave some. Like, don't be mean. Another thing you can do is to travel with your own soap. If you feel as though, you know, soap isn't gonna be in a lot of the public bathrooms, you can go ahead and travel with your own soap as well as your hand sanitizer. So one thing I like to use is I've been using this before all of this happened, but the Dr. Bronner's Pure Castle soap. I love this one, the rose one. So what I do, well, I don't take this with me, but I'm going to probably start doing that. I have a small bottle. I actually tried them out before I got the big one to see what I really liked. But I transfer from the big bottle into the small bottle, and now I have a little travel size one, so I can put this in my bag and always have soap on me in the event that there's no soap in the bathroom. I can still wash my hand thoroughly. I may even carry some napkins just in case. Better safe than sorry. And then sanitize my hand with my hand sanitizer. So now the next thing you want to do is avoid being in close proximity of those that are pretty much showing signs or that could possibly have symptoms of the virus. And the sad, sucky, and scary part about all of this is that the symptoms are the same as the common cold and flu. So sometimes someone could just literally, genuinely have a little cold, but because of all that's going on, the minute they cough, you're like, should I be here? Should I run away? Do I need to like shield myself? You know, so yeah, it could come off kind of rude, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So try to be as nice as possible. If someone's coughing, you know, maybe don't breathe for a bit. And, you know, when they leave, you can Lysol the air to make sure and wipe down the surfaces that they may have touched or whatever. But it's kind of cool outside too in a lot of places, so you can probably travel with scarves and like kind of cover your nose and mouth a little bit. So it's kind of subtle, but you're still protecting yourself. But like I say, just covering that doesn't mean that you're not gonna get it. It's your hands, guys. So make sure when the person touches stuff, you don't have to Lysol right in front of them, you know, to offend them, but Lysol the place, wipe it down. And if you don't have any of the Clorox disinfecting wipes, what you can do is take the Lysol and spray the surface, and then use some tissue or napkin and wipe it down. So it'll kind of act as if, you know, a DIY disinfecting wipe. Now, another thing I want to stress is that we need to make sure that we up ourselves on our vitamins, our fruits, veggies, and water. Make sure we stay hydrated. I that's me. I'm talking to me. I'm preaching to myself as well. I don't really like to drink water, so I'm really trying to have all kind of games and water challenges with myself to get myself up on, you know, the amount of water I should be intaking. But you want to make sure that you are healthy, because Lord forbid that you do end up being in contact with the virus or you catch it. You want to make sure that your immune system isn't compromised and that you are strong internally, so that if you do, like I say, Lord forbid, come in contact with the virus, you are able to fight it, and while your doctors are treating the symptoms, you are able to fight it and you will be a survivor. Honestly guys, we can't really stop anything from happening. If something is to be, it's gonna happen. However, you know, all we can do is do these little things and try to be as sanitized as possible, as clean as possible, and trust God that He will get us all through this time. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope I touched base on majority of the things that I see going around. If you have any things that I may have missed or that you have heard in the news from health professionals that can keep us clean, healthy, and try to minimize our risk of getting the virus, please leave them down below, comment down below, share this video with others that it may be helpful to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!